Right, hello everybody, welcome to MRW News Show. This is a news show we have every week on either Saturday or Sunday. Today is Saturday, as I'm sure you're all aware, and we have some very interesting topics today. One of them is my main one on the title, bio, whatever it's called, description, I don't know, so I'm saying every word but the thing, where basically we're talking about, would you step in if a crime was being committed. Now, I have done a poll on my YouTube asking people. I've had a lot of votes come in, so we'll be talking about that. And I've also got some examples of some crimes that have been committed, and I want you to say what you would have done inside that situation.
At the moment, we've got 72% said yes, they would definitely help, and 28% said no, they wouldn't. So if you haven't voted, could you quickly vote?
Yes, but I'm going to be giving you a specific crime being committed as well, so then you have a precise thing to talk about, because I know some people might think, oh, it depends what crime it is. Well, I'm going to give you a precise one, so you can precisely answer to it. So this week's been a busy week. I went on a canal boat this week, so I did a little video on that, so that's out. I did end up yeah, because what happened was there was two separate canal boats, and it started off, both had drivers on them and they were both going fine, everything was all jolly and stuff, but one, basically we were the boat behind the front boat, and I suppose everybody started noticing, but the boat started like going like a snake down the canal, like hitting into each side, which I did get one clip of, and I was like, what is going on there? And I noticed somebody else was driving it. I was like, why are they driving it? Why aren't the person who's supposed to be driving it? Because if it isn't, like, you don't pay the person to drive, you're supposed to drive it yourself, but the person in question was a person who could drive it, so they trusted him to do it. But basically something happened where they didn't want to drive it anymore, so it basically ended up they needed a driver. Now, I had like a 5-minute lesson before by the person who was there who could drive. I had like a 5-minute lesson before.
I can't believe anybody would leave you just with a canal boat.
I know,
I can't understand it.
I was like, oh well, I'll volunteer to go drive this boat. Now, there was a lovely lady with me, so we were both inside the same situation, but we were trying to drive this boat, but at the beginning, majority of the time, we were basically crashing it ourselves, because obviously in the bankings are quite shallow, so it's only in the middle bit, and when you drive the canal boat, it has like this like stick thing you move, and if you want the boat to go right, what's it called?
Isn't it called a tiller or something like that? But it's just like a stick thing that you move.
If you want to go right, you move it left, and if you want it to go left, you move it right. Now, when you say it sounds easy,
yeah,
but it doesn't when you're actually doing it. And not only is it not easy when you're actually doing it, but it doesn't actually do as you're told. The boat was like, if I turned to go left, you would just do something else, and that's what you're doing, because obviously
so it wasn't obviously your fault.
No, because obviously
the boat,
obviously the water's moving as well, so the water's moving the boat. Now, the person who could drive understood all that, but I didn't, and no matter how many times I got explained, it was just all winding in my head, and it was getting more and more confusing. But we eventually had to turn it round to get back into Skipton, because we were heading to Leeds basically, and we had to basically turn it round. Now, I was the person who was turning it round because I was the person driving, and luckily enough, somebody walked past who has a canal boat and can drive, and they said, oh well, if you just get this rope, somebody jumps off, holds the rope, it should be able to like sort of swing round. So the person who was helping me jumped off, so basically I was fully by myself trying to turn a canal boat round inside not a very big area, with a load of people on board, which were basically making a lot of noise, which wasn't helping, and keep saying, I can drive. I'm like, no, you can't. But anyway, but luckily enough, that person who walked past can drive, and literally he was on the banking explaining what exactly for me to do, and I just was basically listening to every single order he did. So we eventually got out of that situation, but a bit more further up, we got stuck again. We got even more stuck. It really was not moving, was the canal boat. Luckily enough, he was still walking beside us, so he was there to help. So we eventually actually had to jump on board our boat to drive it for us to get us out of this situation, but it wasn't working, so another boat happened to come past. It was the most busiest canal ever. I never known a canal was so busy.
And they had boats on.
Yeah, but usually not that busy. But luckily enough, another canal boat came past, but they didn't really, they knew how to drive better than us, but they were renting it again. So we've decided they were going to like pull us out of this situation, so we were going to like, you know, they were going to tie us up and they were going to pull us out, but because there was some boats moored on the side, we started crashing into them.
I don't think she'd been admitting that little bit.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't us that was crashing. It was the boat helping us that was crashing. So then they were saying, well, we can't keep helping you because now we're crashing.
And this is going on, you know, it's just like classic comedy gold. And she's a YouTuber. I mean, you can hardly get out the bathroom without her filming you. And all these comedy girls going, oh, she didn't film it.
How was I supposed to film it when I'm driving the boat? I had to stress. I could not mentally get it into my head. You're supposed to turn it left to go right and right to go left. It wouldn't go in. And obviously you keep getting stuck, so it was just going in, man. I just couldn't work it out. So that
it is the people's fault. I mean, I wouldn't give anything.
He gives you
a
like
mind.
a 5-second lesson before.
It is correct, 5 seconds.
Oh, it was.
That must be a bit of an
5-minute
exaggeration.
lesson. 5 minutes. Probably, I'd say 4 minutes.
I just can't. I've
And
never known
majority
anything
of that
where they
4-minute
just.
lesson.
I mean, can you
is
imagine going
things
horse
like bridges
riding?
and stuff.
Imagine going horse riding and saying, "Oh, have you ever ridden a horse before?" No, right. Well, you put your feet in there. You get on that bit.
Down
you
a
pull
canal
on
where
this
you're going
bit.
past loads of other people's boats.
Off you go. Bye.
No, but no, honestly, that canal, I've never seen so many boats. And you know when they do that thing where they have a boat and then tie another boat to the boat?
Yeah.
It was them as well. And I was like, what? So then we had this guy.
The canoeists. Canoeists.
No, I never
Canoe
saw
people.
canoe people.
Luckily, they probably saw you first. They're like, get out!
Yeah. And then I was saying, oh, you need to like watch out for the ducks and stuff. And I'm like, the ducks can move.
Oh, the ducks are go. I don't think even I'd have given that much out for the ducks. Unless I was one that was really, you know, ducks are not going to stand there. They go, oh, I'm fighting you. I'll win.
Like,
Look, just duck out the way. It's bigger than you. No, it's not. Look, you crackers.
I had a lot also, people I was with, some of them were a bit naughty, which and
Abby says she has a problem with left and right too. I kept going the wrong way when I did my driving test. So many times. I bet they didn't tell you. I bet they said it was the right way, Abby, when you told them.
right, go left. Oh, you've gone right. Well, that's
I
right.
bet it was the instructor that said, oh, I'm sorry, I've mixed up.
Sorry, I don't really know left and right.
How many times did it take you to pass, Abby?
But so then we had this guy, his name was Peter, and he had this dog as well. And his dog was basically running on the side of the thing, and he basically had to leave his dog. Lucky enough, it was a very good dog, so it followed him because he had to leave it. Because he ended up jumping on this boat with us. So he drove us, but he had to stop at the bridge because he was going past his own boat. So then we were like, he's like, okay, you're gonna be all right. Just slow down when you get to the bridges and stuff. And I'm like, okay. So he left us for literally 5 seconds. Now this is a literal 5 seconds. Yeah. He took us past this bridge, a massive big double boat, because they have double boats where they're double width of a normal boat, came up, right? Yeah. And I was like, why are they so close to that? Why are they so close to the left hand side? Can't they just move over for us? And I thought, God, it's a system, isn't it? I was like, I forgot about that. So I was like, so I said to the woman who was with me, I said, we're gonna have to, cause we were both had the same stress, so she was the person helping me. So like, we're gonna have to go onto the other side of the canal. Yeah. But the thing is, the other side of the canal is more shallow. Yeah. And then behind us, another boat came up. So I was like, we got one on each side.
Sack.
I know. So Peter came back out again out of his boat he just went into to try and help us, and then the person in the double boat was also trying to help us. And I was saying, look, okay, I just got put into a situation. I didn't come here thinking I can drive the boat. So, but anyway, eventually got to the stage where the only person out of 20 of us could drive the boat. Lucky enough, came onto our boat, and I was like, thank you so much. And the other person who can drive actually went back to driving, so it turned out all right in the end. But it was because originally I was just supposed to be the person opening the bridges. Yeah. Now it came to the first bridge. We only actually went past one bridge, but there was supposed to be more. But we only got to one bridge. And I went to like open it, and lucky enough, my friend came with me, and it was like really, really heavy, and it wouldn't move. Yeah. So then 2 other people came, and they went. It was like very it was very hard to get this bridge open, basically. That I've had lighter bridges, which are a lot more easier. But so the person, so I know I keep saying people, but I don't want to say the names. I know it's confusing, but I don't want to say the names. So my friend came with me to open this bridge. Yeah. 2 other people that were with us in this group ran up and didn't come to help us, just came to check it out.
Yeah.
And we were pushing it, and I was saying, can you please help, can you please help? And they come in and off trying to help, but not actually trying to help. They didn't care. They were actually sitting on the bridge to make it heavier. So
Well, there would have been a massive difference, wouldn't it, on one of those bridges?
Yeah. So I was like, I was low and like, oh, he's so weak, why can't you push it? So I said, right, you push it. So he went to do it and he couldn't do it. And I was like, there, now get pushing it. I was like, and then, you know, because it's one of those bridges where they have cars going past. Now, these bridges tend to be just for one house, don't they?
Yeah.
Guess what happens when you open that bridge?
All the houses come over to you.
And he was like, stood there saying, like that. And I was like, I'm sorry, but it's his fault. And he was like, oh, snitch. And I was like, well, if you were pushing it, it wouldn't be a problem, would it? So I fell out with him. He was like, he wouldn't push the bridge. And then obviously I'm trying to control the boat and he kept coming up like, oh, I can drive. I was like, right, drive it then. And he was like, well, you know. I was like, no. You said you can drive it. Drive it. So, you can tell them. But that's what happened basically.
So, thank you for watching MRW News. We've finished our time. Right, Abby's on.
No, we know Abby's on.
Yeah, Van Transit's on, Anders is on, Dave's on. Abby'd passed first time. Well done, Abby. The driving test. And so has anybody else driven a canal boat? In Matilda's sort of way, she's driven one.
Well, when I had my little lesson with the only person who could drive, I was actually doing really well. I was going around this corner. I was thinking, God, this is easy. I'm thinking it was all right. Well,
Abby says she's never driven one.
But then obviously it came out it wasn't easy.
So anyways, the crash is on, which has had quite a lot of views. I think about 3,500
There was a lot more
views.
crashes than that, but I just couldn't film.
Oh, would you filmed it?
I couldn't do because I was the driver. So I had to do it.
What do you want to start off with? I was going to leave it till about 20 past because Abby said she wasn't on until 20 past, but she's here now. So you want to do the poll?
Right, yeah, to get the poll up.
Right, so the poll at the moment, let me just get it up. I'll just have to go off this, so just 1 minute. The poll at the moment is 28% of people says they wouldn't get involved. This is, would you step in if you saw a crime being committed? 28% says they wouldn't, and 72% said they would. And the comments are, which I agree with this one. No, because the police are most likely to arrest the ones well, I'm not agree as in most likely, but could happen. Most likely to arrest the ones stepping in rather than the ones who have actually committed the crime. Well, that's if they bother turning up. So I agree in that in part. I think you could get, couldn't you? You could get the person. So say somebody was assaulting somebody and you went in and then that person that was assaulting got hurt by you, they could end up suing you or saying to police, well, I've been assaulted. There could be 2 charges, couldn't there? So that's a bit of a worry. I understand that. And then Abby says, I think I would depend on the situation. I love Abby's comments. I think it would depend on the situation whether I would get involved or not. I wouldn't want to put myself in a situation where I could get hurt, but also I'm a large, strong woman that loves a good fight. Right. And then the other comments are and somebody said it's very similar to the other one. I would, but the police would most likely arrest me and not the criminal. It's getting like California over here. So somebody's saying sort of the same thing. But this one, I'm not risking my safety, health, freedom for anyone else. So let's just hope they're not there if you ever get attacked. Dave says, depending on what it was, would ring police or contact security, but would most likely not intervene, as whilst word and insults don't physically hurt, often physical actions from the criminal can end badly, as we see so often. Right, so that's the comments, and thank you for everybody joining in.
Right, so you want to read that bit and then I'll get my videos up?
Well, this was a few years ago, but obviously this happens all the time when there's crimes and people look on. But this lady was raped on a train just outside Philadelphia, and several people observed the 8-minute attack and they didn't do anything. Some even recorded it on the phone. Now, I could understand if you were terrified and you recorded it on the phone for evidence for the police, because, you know, if I saw something happening and it was 2 of us and I said, right, I'm going to go in and help, you stay out of it, but I'd say record everything.
Yeah, because like the example,
because then you've got the evidence for the police.
Yeah, for example, like getting wrong person, you know, saying, oh, that person did it, sort of thing. The wrong person, if you got the recording, they can't. That's good thing about technology. That good thing is that recording, you can't fake, you know.
No.
I know you can do, but
so if you were too,
basically,
if I was too scared to go in, I think the second best thing to do is record it, but obviously not to put it on social media, obviously to give it to the police. But it never said, I read the story, it never said whether they put it on, whether it was for their own gain or whether the police actually got some footage. But nobody joined in. And apparently it's a psychological thing, and it's called a bystander effect. And people are often less likely to help others in need when there are lots of other people around compared to when they're on their own. And so if that lady was being raped and maybe there was 1 or 2 people, they think psychologically there's more chance than jumping in. And you see this not on anything like as serious as this case, but you'll have all done it. When you see people queuing at traffic lights and it's clear both ways and they stand there, and you walk up, don't you, and you think, well, hang on a minute, I know it's on green still for traffic, but what are you waiting for? And you walk across, and they'll look out the round, and then they'll walk across, won't they? Even though they're stood there. Do you know that? You've seen that happen many a time, haven't you? When somebody will do something once they see somebody else do it. So all those.
Well, it's also like on a small scale. Like I think the other day I was with some people, and we basically started crossing the traffic lights because the people in front of us went. The person behind me says, "Why do you cross? It was red." And I was like, "Oh, well, I just followed the person in front."
God, so you've done it. You're simple as well.
Chatting, and I'm sure I didn't see my corner of the eye. The cars did stop, so I was sort of like, you know. But I was like, well, I just followed them.
And straight off the cliff. Seriously, actually, I say no, I wouldn't do anything like that, but no.
And I was with So as we were walking with 3 people inside a little group, right? Person that was next to me, like, "Oh, why are you walking so fast?" And I was like, I'm going at your speed." And then they said, "Well, I'm going at the speed of the person in front of me." So we were just all like following each other.
So anyway, so the Office of National Statistics, there's been it's increased year on as the knife crimes. And in 2023, 2024, there were 50,000 recorded offences, which was a 4% increase. So the question is, obviously, would you step in if there was a crime? And also, what crime? So would you do it to a certain level? All right, okay, sorry. Sorry, I've gone above my station.
No, I'm just saying, because I'm going to show them an example.
Ah, right.
Right, so this is an example of a crime. Now, I'm going to show you, so this is a social experiment, so it's not a real thing that's happening, but one thing I can't work out, which you'll make sense once you see it, is if the person that's watching it is acting or not. I haven't yet worked that out, whether they're acting or it's a real social experiment, which I think it must be because it's a real social experiment. So this person, content creator, does this quite often, social experiments like this, and they tend to do the same system all the time. So this is one of the videos. I'll show you a few different ones, but this is the first one I'm going to show you. So they do the same thing every time, and this is what this girl did in this situation. So here you go. So he's acting, so don't like have a go at him or anything, because he's not actually. Hang on. Dang it. Okay, hang on. One second. Side. Okay. Right. There's no sound because it's got music on it. Right. So as you can see, he's putting something inside the girl's drink he's with. Now that girl sat there, clearly watching. He swapped it over, and the girl's going to come back, which there she is. And then you'll see. Why's he gone black? Oh, don't. Why's he gone black? Sorry. Okay. So now she's just chatting. Now she's going to go off again. And he's going to do the exact same thing again and put another thing inside his drink. Obviously, it's not a real thing. I don't know what it is, maybe sugar or something. But it's not real. So he's putting something else inside a drink again. And she's still watching. So as again, I don't know if she's an actor, it's real. Why do you keep turning yourself off? So she's still watching. I don't know why they keep making it so. I'll show you a better video, but you're getting the idea. She's drinking it. She isn't doing anything. So the question is, I'll show you a better video.
Mark's Random Curiosities on. Evening Mark's Random Curiosities. Abby says, I would get involved. To what level then, Abby? Any single crime that you saw? Or would it be like shoplifting? Or basically if you saw somebody with a knife? would you get involved?
Right, this video's going better because that one keep going black out. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so this video should be better. So what I'm trying to say is, would you enter this situation? So this situation, it's not him that's doing it, somebody else that's doing it. And I think that this one is a real one where the guy isn't acting or whatever. I don't know. Anyway. Here you go. Right. Man, woman. And then she's going to get a drink. He's the guy of interest. He's putting a pill inside her drink. She's coming back. There's only music on this, there's no sound, but I can't put the music on, so that's why. So I don't think he's acting. I think he's actually generally reacting to the situation. Obviously, he's acting. He's basically saying, right, you drink it then. He's not wanting to drink it.
Abby says, knife incident, I would only get involved if I was larger than the attacker. I think I'd be terrified if there was a knife. I think you wouldn't, I don't think you'd know, would you?
I think knife's a bit more of a difficult situation, isn't it?
It's what your adrenaline kicks in though, doesn't it? And you don't think you do. Decent people so. Just naturally go and defend.
I mean, obviously, I'm not.
William's on.
Hello? Hello? So, what's that situation there? What would you do? I had a better video and I can't find it. What would you do inside that situation? So somebody's put something inside that girl's drink. Would you step in or not?
Definitely. For that, without a doubt.
Now, this is another one and he does end up stepping in. But obviously, you see, the thing is, they're both men, but I mean, he looks like he's a bit more stronger. I don't know. But
Gabby says in the drink, I would step in without a doubt.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think what I would do is, obviously, it depends who you're with.
Yeah.
Because, like, say if you were with somebody that you know, strong or whatever.
Yeah.
Then it's a bit more different. I think you'd film it. You do a few things. You'd film it so then you can show it to her in case she doesn't believe you.
Yeah, because that could if they were a couple as well. Because it could be somebody that's just met somebody else. It could be, people are together, aren't they? And they do things like that. Often people won't believe it. If the person they're with says, I never did that, that's disgusting, and kicked off. Yeah, that'd be a worry.
So I think I'd get it filmed.
Dave says yes on that one.
I'd probably go to the, if I was by myself especially, I'd be calling 999 as well, but obviously it depends, because obviously you've got film and call 999. It depends if you've got only your phone or you've got two devices.
Yeah.
Obviously, is this pre-playing itself? I don't know. Obviously, it depends on that.
But does that show the one about the man and the woman that one didn't step in?
Yeah, I showed one that she didn't step in.
He didn't step in when he put it in. When she put it in his, he didn't. Have you shown that?
No, I haven't. I'm showing a different video. No, but what I'd probably do is a handful of things. I'd film it.
Yeah.
Probably go call the police.
Yeah.
If I had two devices, I'd just
definitely
do both.
Call the police.
Yeah. If I had two devices, I'd be doing both at the same time.
Yeah.
Go get a member of, staff, so then you have like more people around you, sort of thing. Maybe. Because obviously you have the time while the police aren't there, don't you?
Yeah.
And I'd like try and maybe if she has gone to the bathroom, whatever, try and get hold of her alone.
Yeah.
So then you're not near that person.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm saying her. They're obviously.
But I'd tell her back.
Yeah, I'm showing examples. I'm saying different things you could do because of like if she's gone off. It depends how the order it does it because in that order that he's done it in, he puts something inside the drink. She comes back. She goes again, puts another thing inside the drink. So you get two chances, sort of thing. So. You try and film it, but say if he's only done it once, only one tablet sort of thing or something like that, then he can't really film it if it's just happened then, because obviously you wouldn't know to film it, wouldn't you? But obviously if it's inside a cafe, it's a lot more different situation. You've got more people around.
Matt's random curiosity says they all look like the setup. Yeah, it is a setup.
A social experiment.
But the people that are surrounding, so the setup putting the tablet in the drink, that's all a setup. It's just
he's the same person every time.
It's just no kind. They did say what kind of tablet it was, but I couldn't understand it. It's just basically nothing.
We're getting confused with somebody else.
All right. Well, anyway, they're obviously not putting a drug in there. It is set up. The people that know about it, the camera person, but the people that are watching on, that's not set up. So the person that's crushing the tablet is set up, but the people that are sat there watching are not set up. Anders says one can always pretend to spill the mug so the girl doesn't have time to drink anyway. Yeah, that's a good idea.
But I think, yes, it is.
But then again,
obviously you've got another, he's just going to do it again.
Oh, yeah, he's going to do it. Yeah, I fully understand that. But put in a situation, because not everybody thinks straight away on the feet like that, put in a situation, the main thing is to not let her or him drink the drink. That's the main start off. So like Anders says, spilling it, but obviously then you move on, can't you, and say, well, hang on a minute. Most pubs like that now have CCTV. The police check that CCTV because that's what he or her is doing.
Now the other situation is, there's this thing that it's supposed to be a thing where basically if you see somebody doing it means they need help. So I'm going to show you a video of basically another social experiment. It's the same person. So here you go. So hang on. Oh no, wrong video. Hang on 1 minute, give me a sec. I just found the video. Here we go. Okay. Right, so she's walking past her, she's knocked her on the shoulder and she's doing that. That hand signal is supposed to mean help. She's obviously ignored it. So basically it means that guy's got her and she's, whatever, those sort of situations. So she is stepping in. Which I don't know if she's set up or not, but if she isn't, she's quite brave because obviously she's just. But
I know this to be set up, surely.
Well, it's obviously difficult if you set it up because obviously they could just call 999 and you get the police
if
coming
that's
around.
not set up and the person's carry on filming her, is a bit sick.
Oh no, I meant by the people are set up. No, of course they are set up. I meant by the girl stepping in.
Oh right, okay.
No, of course they're set up. He's the same guy. Yeah, they're definitely set up. These are just viral clips. So these are just added extras. So these are just showing examples. So if you see somebody doing that, then basically it means that it means help basically. So it usually means, say, if somebody's like captured somebody, like kidnapping or something like that.
Think
or somebody's
if it was something like I've got a story about shoplifting actually. I could tell that. If it was something like shoplifting, I'd step in. I have done. That's my story. And if it was something like violent, I think you'd probably kick in. You'd have to step in, or I think I'd make so much of a commotion, or I'd throw stuff, like even a bin or even rubbish at them or anything to try and stop them from attacking someone. If they had a knife. I tried to obviously cause a distraction.
Police, obviously, as well, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd obviously call the police, or if I couldn't at that moment in time because they were getting attacked, say to somebody else, call the police. I would never, if there was a crowd, I'd never stand there because I'd be saying to somebody to do something, even if it's just screaming, shouting, making a commotion. If somebody's not brave enough to go in, but I wouldn't stand and stare and say nothing.
Well,
I certainly wouldn't.
The video I showed you of the girl while he was getting spicy, she didn't do anything. Inside the comments of that video, people were saying there's only really one person that said that was you should have stepped in, but and then it was a full argument. I was reading them; they're all having a proper argument. But people saying, oh well, anxiety, like they weren't stepping in because anxiety. Now I don't know how that works, But for those people, I don't know what they're obviously going through, but the people are saying, I'm sure she's crying inside. But obviously the thing is, if what's going to happen to that person, they're going to be crying, aren't they? So, it's a question of, I don't know how social anxiety fully works, but whether you've got social anxiety, you should still step in because of, it's happening, don't you? And,
This is also the one where you can ask for Angela, which with the staff, as opposed to help you and get the police. Yeah, I've seen about that. That's another one. So I went to Sainsbury's and I stepped in with a shoplifter, and this is like what people were saying, which you could actually get it turned around to you. And I had the dog outside when we had a dog, so I couldn't come in. And Matilda was asking me whether she could buy stuff. She was a lot younger then. And so Sainsbury's has a little bit of an outbit where the trolleys are. Then you go into the actual this particular Sainsbury's. So I couldn't go in anywhere with the dog. And the dog was sort of like pulling away, being a bit of a nuisance. So that was pulling me away from Sainsbury's, and she's trying to talk. So I'm explaining to her, leave the basket there and you'll be all right. Don't walk out with the stuff because then you're not, like shoplifting, come and say it. So she left the basket by the door. And as she's talking to me, this black lady, and the reason why I said she's a black lady is you'll see at the end of the thing why. She came out and she nicked Matilda's stuff. So I got, as she's coming out, and I've got this dog that's trying to pull the other way, I said, you've just nicked that stuff. No, I haven't. She says, I haven't nicked it at all. I had. So I said, security. I said, she just nicked my daughter's stuff. And so he goes, oh, right, okay. And he wasn't keen on anything. And she was with another person, was this lady, and a man. And so I said, and they both had rucksacks on. And as I say, this dog kept pulling, so I kept sort of turning away and half in, and I had Matilda, obviously, who was younger, so I had to look after her as well. So there was a lot going on. And so I said, she's definitely taken it. So the security man, very reluctantly said, would you mind if I look in your rucksack? So she went, no, not at all. I thought, oh, that's a bit weird. So she opens her rucksack as happily as anything. He looks in, and so she goes, see, I haven't stolen anything. And the security guard turns around to me and says, I'm sorry, you've got it wrong. You've falsely accused somebody. I said, no, I haven't. I've got it right. So I said, turned around, I said, hang on a minute, what about his rucksack? Will it all change then? So they said, oh, no, it's not in there. And I said, well, can we check that one? So the security guard had to really push reluctantly. And they said, okay. So anyway, so they opened up, and there was Matilda's stuff in his rucksack. And this woman goes, she turns around and she goes, oh, you mean that stuff? Like this? And I'm going, yeah, that's stuff that you've nicked. And he's going, oh, well, I didn't realise you mean that. The security guard was absolutely fine. Never did anything. Just said, oh, well, I'm sorry about that. You shouldn't take it. Didn't do anything about it. But the reason why I said this was that so she comes out. So he's there. I'm still outside with the dog. And she comes out and she goes, you effing white bitch. So she was going to me. She says, you effing white bitch. And then she turned to her friend and said, this is the reason why I didn't want to live in effing England, for white bitches like that. And that's what she said. And then went and left me. So yeah, I did step in, and it didn't go out too well because nothing happened. So probably won't step in again. Actually, not for shoplifting. Probably if it was a knife crime. So yeah.
I suppose if you're inside a shop, you can just go to the counter and say, look, I stole it. And
they didn't do anything though. But then turning round, that could have got on to you, couldn't it? If he'd have walked off, could you imagine if he'd have gone? And then there's me there accusing somebody of shoplifting, and I'm saying, well, I've seen it. Then it could have been me, couldn't it? So it is a worry. But as it happens, I don't know.
As it happens, he opened his rucksack.
So, yeah. But, yeah, so there you go. That was my stepping in for a crime. Didn't go down that well. So what's next?
So, who's
RSPCA.
The RSPCA is saying, if you find a live rat or mouse that's injured or anything like that, and they're saying to place a towel over the rat, lift it into a box, use a plastic box because rats can eat cardboard boxes quickly, and they
well, they said make sure you put it in a plastic box, because this is the RSPCA that have put this out now about injured rats, which I find a bit strange. But they said that what you've got to well, not really. And then they said that they put it in the if you find it. Oh God. If you find it injured, put it in a box, but a plastic one, because it can chew through cardboard. Well, I thought it can't be that injured then, can it? If it can chew through the cardboard. Anyway, that's what they said. But they can bite. So they know they can bite. So make sure you wear gloves. Then call a vet. But they can have really bad diseases, can't they? If they bite you, you can die from a rat bite. And would anybody else do that, or for a rat?
Well, I mean,
it's not a hedgehog, is it? I'm a big cruel. Would you? If you saw what would anybody do if they saw an injured rat? I don't think could you imagine the vet coming down with it?
I don't really know.
Is it your dog? Is it your cat? No.
Your pet rat? Well,
not really.
You're halfway there.
How long have you had it? 12 minutes.
Found it outside.
I didn't think anybody did that, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I don't know. If you called, I honestly don't know. Really know what I'd do inside that situation. Because what would a vet really do though? Well, they're so small, aren't they? What can they actually do for them?
You can put them down, but I can't see them putting down one. They just sort of kill them off as you went now. I can't see them putting all this, the drugs into them and everything. I just can't. I just couldn't imagine them. You go into the vet. Because if you get a rat bite,
there's not really much cure either, is there?
Well, there is a cure, yeah, but you can get Wheels disease from them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And you can get rat. I think they just call it rat bite disease. And
Let's just kill it.
Yeah.
Well, they'll keep it simple, because at the end of the day, if somebody's got rat disease, they're going to be quite dizzy, so you might as well make it simple for them to understand.
What about rat bite? No, got to be a bit more complicated than that. Rat bite disease, that'll do. Right, so that'll do. That's
Hey,
what
put
that
it
disease
in
is
Oxford
called.
Dictionary, please.
And you can get rat bite disease, and you can get Wheals disease, and Wheals disease can kill you. And it can make you really ill for life. I think it affects your livers or your kidneys or one or the other.
Well, that's what I've always thought. When I always make sure I don't get near a rat, because I know about, all that. So I've always got told from a really young age not to go near a rat. You'll get Wheals
Did I tell you that? See, so I've done this home education. There you go. That's proof it worked.
So I even though I'd love to give it a little pet, I don't go near them because of obviously I could get Wheals disease. So that's always been very stapled in my head, not to go near them.
Anders says there are rats as big as cats in Stockholm. I keep my distance. I don't want to get bitten by one, so you won't be wrapping it in a blanket and taking it to your vets then. Abby says, I don't think I have ever seen a rat in the wild. Have you not? You must have done.
Where do you live?
Where do you? You must live at a very clean place. There's rats all around here. They're everywhere. And they start, in fact, they've just like, we have a lot of cats, not personally own one, we just have Zach, but there's a lot of cats around here, but the rats just walk past like it's, all right. Probably know that they're going to go to the vets if anything happens to them now.
Oh, do you see that article where it does? Yeah, it's fine.
You do what you want now.
Like, we get
Any
free
injury,
treatment now.
You get a really good feed and everything. Just do what you want. Well, that's Zach. Don't give a stuff about that, Zach.
I don't think he does either.
I just can't believe the RSPCA saying that. And then I read a bit further on, and they're saying if you find baby rodents, leave them and check that they haven't come back to the nest and all this lot, and that the parents haven't been killed. And I'm thinking, aren't they supposed to be exterminated?
Well, I mean, I don't like, I'm not saying we should kill rats, but it's like, I don't know. It's just the things about rats is sort of, take the mickey a bit, don't they? They sort of go a bit too over the top, say, right, you're allowed to live with us, you're allowed to continue your life, but then they get a bit too over the top.
Yeah.
Like they get loads of rats then, don't they? Make a big deal of the fact is they're there.
Yeah.
They just basically get a bit too over the top. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but I just found it a bit of a funny one. So yeah.
But if you saw a rat, what would you do? 'Cause I can't really think what I would do.
I've never seen an injured rat.
Mm-mm.
But I have seen loads and loads and loads of rats, but I haven't seen an injured one. I'll take it to the vet if I do see one now. I don't think I'd be too impressed if I turned up with it though. Right, what story
Who
are you doing?
pays for the vet bill then?
I think that's part of being a vet. You've got to do wildlife. I think. Whoever brings it in, that's it.
But they're saying about wearing gloves.
They're not going to try and save it, are they?
But they say about wearing gloves, a rat is very fast, so it can easily just get to this part, can't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and what if you just thought, it says wear gloves, and then you went and got your gardening gloves? They're just going to go straight through that. And the only gloves that a rat couldn't get through would be sort of like welding sort of type glove level.
I know, because the thing is, if the RSPCA says something, you're going to sort of, trust it, aren't
Of course you are. That's what I mean. This is why I'm sort of like, trying to get you to pick up on the story, where you've just gone, you just sat there going,
Well, I don't know. So it's a bit like, is it manslaughter they call it or something? Because if they die from this rat, this
is what I'm trying to say.
The RSPCA have told them it's okay, which obviously RSPCA are a big company people. I don't know what the company, whatever they're called. So you obviously charity. So if they say, you sort of think, it's all right, then I can touch a rat. But actually,
it doesn't. That's what I mean. It doesn't say in the story about how serious the diseases are from them. But the thing is, if you go and pick the rat up with a towel, its teeth are going to go straight through a towel. That's just a joke, really. But then you've got
bring somebody out.
Bring somebody out. Honestly, you would do. I mean, I'm not being awful, but I'd be picking it with a shovel. I wouldn't want to hurt it, but I would pick it up with a shovel and then take it down to the vets.
Mind out! School someone.
Well, I would.
What are you doing there, Joan?
Then you've got your gloves. Now, you imagine if it was an older person as well. So anyway, so you put your gloves on, then you've just got your gloves in your towel, and they've got teeth like razors, haven't they? They just go straight through. I just find it a bit of a funny thing for them to be writing that you can save them.
Kind of a bit like just come though, if you just put something on top of it, the rat.
Van Transit says, do they pay national insurance?
The rats?
Rats? No, I don't. Not ours. They never. In fact, well, they might do. I've never asked them.
Yeah, but I suppose, do they help take out the rubbish or something?
Rats?
Yeah, because, you know, they eat and
Mm. Andy says, is there no Knight's Armours in Lancaster that you can borrow if you want to help a rat? Well, I've never come across a rat to... And then it's probably going to die by the time you go and get the armour, isn't it? Anyway.
Yeah, it's just a bit excessive. Right.
So anyway, so I don't think anybody's helping rats. And now if it was a hedgehog, everybody would be going absolutely insane. Well, oh, God, you can't pick it up with your mouth, anything. You don't pick that up, it doesn't matter if you die.
Well, I like, you know, I'm not saying anything against the rats, you know, that they've been put in this situation, haven't they, really?
Well, they scuttle too quickly, don't they? If they were really slow, in fact, if they were a lot bigger, like I was saying about the ones that like cats, if they were a lot bigger like that with a little tail and they just ambled along like a sloth, I don't think you'd worry about them. I think it's the speed they move at.
No, for me, it's the illness. That's what always scares me.
Me.
It does for me. I always think if I get bitten, I'm knackered. So I that's what scares me. I don't really mind.
They just move too quickly.
That's not really bother me.
But when they're in a cage, when we saw one in France, it's really, really cute, isn't it? I think the other thing is as well, because they run along buildings, don't they? They don't come out into open spaces. So whereas a hedgehog will come pottering onto the yard, won't
I'm
it?
here, you can run me out,
well,
I'm right here.
Yeah. Look at me.
I have no sense of fear.
Because I've got all these spikes. Oh,
No,
about the tyres. Oh no, doesn't matter about the tyres. They'll prop that. I don't think they will. They will.
I haven't tried it yet, but they will.
And the rat's going, don't be so stupid, stay along
You're
the
so
wall
big,
side.
aren't you?
Oh God, you are thick,
No,
Mr.
just
Matty.
think if you get run over, I'll just eat you, so it's fine with me, you know. I have to cut off the spikes and I'll be right. I just use them as little, you know, things to pick up the hedgehog.
So, yeah, rats, I think that's the other reason, because they go along wall sides.
I mean, that doesn't really bother me. It's just the disease that's always bothered me.
That just bothers me about them just just trundling along so quickly. They scare me. But yeah, if they're in a cage, they don't. So it's the speed. Because they look quite cute in a cage.
Mm.
That one in France didn't it?
Honestly, the speed isn't like a bother to me.
No.
It's just the illness. If it was like a thing where rats aren't, you know, because like down the canal, they have rats down the canal.
Yeah.
And people are like, you know, touching the canal. I was like, don't touch the canal, because the canal is really dirty and you're going to get some form of disease. Now, I obviously don't tend to touch the canal, but I ended up, you know, having to do all the rope stuff. We actually didn't mind, but it was just the fact that I had to touch the canal. And so you just have to make sure you wash your hands afterwards, because of the canal is dirty because of many reasons, really. And obviously boats coming in up and down means it gets dirty as well, because obviously everything's moving about. Now she has gone. Hopefully she'll be coming back at some point. A Hollywood movie with scenes that were filmed in Kirby Lonsdale is having a second leaf of life, as it is at number 6 on Netflix. So this is what's it called? Dittle, which starred. You want to see who starred? I don't want to get the names wrong.
Van Trent says, read again. I said rational. As in rational insurance. Yeah, it's a bit hard sometimes to read them because they come down so quickly when they're coming on here. Anders says, mice are cute but can eat electrical wires, which can cause a fire. Ruben says, hi, I'm from Wales. And Peter says, what is the world record? And Trey says, hey. And yeah, so right, a Hollywood movie with scenes filmed in Kirby Lonsdale is having a second lease of life by trending worldwide. Fantasy adventure film Dolittle, starring Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland, is currently ranked 6th on Netflix. And the Kirby Lonsdale, which is very near us, featured in the 2020 movie. The film stars filmed there for 3 weeks. And the story is about the eccentric doctor who can talk to animals. And the CGI giraffe leaps through the market square.
So they had this giraffe. It's like quite a quick scene, really, but it took 3 weeks to film because they're doing right.
It's a very quick scene.
Yeah, and so I'm going to show it to you here.
So this is near us.
Does it sound?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. You got sound out?
Which way, Tutu? Down! Right away! Get up the road, ma chérie. See you later, suckers.
So that little clip with the gallop through that market square, it's unbelievable. It took 3 weeks to film.
I think they had like the locals, they let them like said, oh, you can be part of it and stuff and go inside of it. I only found out about this like about 2 months ago, I think.
I know, but the reason why we're covering the story, obviously, because it's locally, it's interesting, and it's sort of like you're doing a film, don't you? You think that's it, even a good one, don't you? And then it's had a sort of like gone up again, and everybody's watching it again. But I just think 3 weeks, and that's clips over.
You'd have to get that giraffe running down.
The giraffe?
Yeah.
But not a real giraffe, is it?
It's not hard to do it, and obviously they're all horses, and if
yeah, but that's the other thing as well with it is that scene's all been done, hasn't it? And taken 3 weeks with all that, and it's just so quick, isn't it?
Well, it also depends how much time they have, because obviously they're right inside Market Square of a town, so it might have taken 3 weeks because they might have had like a very short period of filming. Meaning, like if they just got like, I don't know, a certain amount of hours a day, or maybe early inside the morning, whatever's the quietest time. Because for example, Kirby Lonsdale have markets, don't they? So, and they're not going to have to film every single day, are they? So they'll have to take that into account.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is, right, they've taken all that time to do that little clip, right? And then it's got to go and get the animals put on. So not only all that work and all that money for that little clip, it's not even anywhere near finished when they've gone off. Because they've got to put all that on. And then they've got the person there, haven't they, that says, well, you got a bit wrong. That when the giraffe's supposed to jump on that bit that moves, it's a bit delayed. I just find it amazing. I just find it fascinating that they've put all that work in just for that few seconds. I know, so it's a bit, you know. Anyway, Thrifty Thunder, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That is very kind of you. Thank you. Honestly, it helps in so many ways. So you've just done a super thanks, so everybody doesn't know. And so thank you so much, Thrifty Thunder. It's very nice of you indeed.
And this it says, sorry, can't join tonight. Round at a friend's house, drinks and music. Let's have a great weekend. Keep up the good work. Well, I hope you can join in some. But that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. Abby says, Isaac, go be irritating someone else, you knob end. I think I've got rid of them, Abby. But so many on tonight. It's so difficult to do, and as I say, it's really difficult for me because I don't want to quit this one because it moves up as well, and I don't want to hide somebody that's not done anything wrong. So you've got to read all through them. It's so difficult. Dave says, how is your film coming on? It's coming on very well, and we are hopefully getting a bit finished next week and sorting out putting it on different places. So yes, and film festivals. So it's all going really well. Thank you for asking, Dave. And I must update the website. I am a bit behind on it, but obviously I've got so much to do. But yeah, it's going really well. Thank you very much. So yeah, right, next story. Trevor says hello. Hello, Trevor.
Hello. UK's oldest first responder, Carol Moss, is still saving lives at age 88 years old. Now, what would you be doing if you're 80 years old, or at, you know, when you're that age? What would you still be doing this? Because if she's part of the East
of England Ambulance Service. And she's 88 years old, can you believe? And she's been a volunteer for an amazing 23 years.
Over 1,000 things she's attended, hasn't she?
She's responded to 1,000 medical emergencies. She's 88?
I know.
I couldn't be doing that at 88.
Well, she encourages others to be doing it.
She says it's a wonderful service and she encourages others to do it. But, I mean, imagine 88 years old.
I know. Still.
I'd be wanting to be in my beddy at that age. And I've just
because you've got a job that you find as a holiday, so you know you find a job. Not
forgot I had this photograph. That's Kirby Lonsdale when they were doing it, when the film crew was there and everything. I didn't realise I got that.
That looks like the market.
No, this is the thing at the beginning. These are all the setting up. That's the start of it. That
does look like a market.
Well, that's what was on the thing.
That really does look like a market stall.
Right.
I'll show it.
This is
a normal day at Kirby's.
Yeah. This is the thing. Oh no, I've missed it now. on the thing. Sorry.
Let me just show it to you properly.
Oh, well, that's what I tried to get you to do. Put your
Let me
hands
show it
down.
to you. No, let me. Because you're gonna.
This is what that was like. That's that place where the film was, where you saw with the giraffe galloping through and all the thing. So I forgot to do the picture before. So, Anders says there can never be too many ambulance drivers. Mark's random curiosity says, I doubt I'll be getting out of bed when I make it. I don't think I will be getting out of bed if we're still alive at that age. Trevor says that's cool. There's a lot of amazing people in this world. There certainly is. Abby says, you like the phone bookmark. Abby, English only in the chat, please. Mark, write the page. So yeah,
We have everything. So next week on Saturday, I will be performing inside Carlisle at HMV. What time am I performing?
oh, 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock. So yeah, I'll be performing. There will be a live stream there, and it's a public event as well. So it obviously means, you know, you can go watch. And it should be, I'm very excited for it. It should be very good, shouldn't it?
Oh, I'm really looking forward to it.
So be in Carlisle, HMV, so just find out. I think, actually, I don't know if it's, I think it might be inside like the shopping centre area, like opposite HMV. I think they've got their own area thing. I think, so it should be really exciting. Hopefully there's signal there and everything, so we should be getting a good live stream, hopefully. But obviously, if it doesn't, you know, I obviously every time I try my best. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So hopefully it should be alright. It should be a very good day, so look out next week. Either if you're in Carlisle, or also my CDs should be going there as well. My CDs are already in Blackpool HMV, so you can go get yourself to Blackpool HMV, and please, 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 please do. Be really much appreciated. I'm inside the top floor because that's where majority of CDs are. Up there, both of my CDs, the Sympathiser and Always the Outcast, and not only that, but Lancaster HMV is actually closing down. I wanted to do a video on this, but I just didn't have I haven't basically had the time to do it. But it's closing down, sadly. And it says it's closing down.
It's
no, I haven't got to that, yeah, I haven't got to that point though.
But that's not closing down.
Yeah, sentence, I haven't got to that point yet. But it doesn't say that on the. I'm just reading the notice. It doesn't say that. It says it's closing down on Sunday the 9th. So I don't know it opened on a Sunday. So I don't know if it. Tomorrow is its closing day.
Yeah.
So I think you can still go tomorrow. I think you can still go then. But they are trying to locate it, which hopefully they manage to do, because that would be great. Because obviously it's very sad the fact that it is closing. It's a really good building as well. You know, you have like the steps and stuff where you go up. And but I suppose if it's like rent or something, or whether they just don't like that spot, I don't know. But yeah, it's relocating. So if you're in Lancaster tomorrow, get yourself down there. Because it'll be the last day until it relocates. Obviously, I don't know if it is yet, but obviously I'm hoping it does. But I'm just saying, because I don't know, because they're trying to find somewhere. But if they're trying to find somewhere, they should be wanting somewhere, then, shouldn't they? They should be able to have the funding and stuff. I mean, there's always people in HMV, but I mean, a lot of people do go in HMV just to have a look around there.
So Dave says he went to Carlisle today, so I hope we had a good time, Dave. Mark says, what's the weather like over here? Good. Fine. Yeah, good. And Matilda, you've been, we'll put it out soon, but you've been booked for a big event, haven't you? A big music event. So once we've sent details for it, we've confirmed it, they've asked us, and she's confirmed it, we'll be putting that out. So that's really good. Really exciting event. So yeah, all good.
Yes, so please do check out if you're in Blackpool or Lancaster or obviously HMV next week. Please do go check out my CDs because I really appreciate it, because obviously it helps me a lot, and obviously you get a wonderful CD out of it, so it is brilliant. And also check out my music account as well. I'm trying to get it up for you, but I don't think I can get it in time. Check out my music account as well, MRW Music Official, it's called, I believe. So go search it up. It's not working, so I can't show it to you, I'm afraid.
Max is in Canada and it's 40 degrees. Well, I don't think it's as warm as that here, but it's fairly warm. It's pleasant. We're in a t-shirt, so yeah, it's fine. It's pleasant.
Yeah, it's pretty much all right. So yeah, I think that's everything, really.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you so much to 50 Thunderer
for
the super thanks, and thank you so much to everybody else for joining in who commented. It's been a good night as usual, and loads and loads of interactions, so well done everybody. And if you want anything Bark is a troll. Right, okay. God, there's so many on tonight. Anders, not Anders, sorry, I'm about to read Anders' comment. Abby, there's so many on tonight, Abby. It's been quite a difficult one because obviously then you click off as well to get pictures off your iPad for show, and it's just like they're on all the time. But I think I've got rid of most of them. And if you tell me ones that I miss, because it's not, and as I say, I don't want to rush in and get rid of somebody and then that's it, because I can't get them back once I've hidden them. You know, so I have to, so when you lot are seeing it, you're seeing it straight away. I'm reading them all and all the other things that are going on, so I don't want to rush in and remove somebody when they're innocent and they're not a troll. But yeah, they are. Some you don't get any, and then others, they're just absolutely manic, aren't they? And same with lives and stuff like that, you don't get any, do you? Then other sorry, not lives, music, when we do the music, some you don't get anything, do you? And then others, they're just relentless. But God, there's so many sad people, isn't there?
There is a lot.
No, Abby says it's just one person with many accounts. How do you work that out, Abby? Or is it because you can click on them and see that? So they're putting one thing. So they're putting one thing like sexual or abusive, and then on the next account, the same person is putting something nice. That's mental. That's really. You've got some psychological mental health problems there, haven't you? I just couldn't be bothered. So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, they have a lot of time on their hands.
They do, don't they? I mean, I just couldn't have the time to be trolling somebody.
Yeah, you just don't have the time, do you? Like,
It's just unbelievable.
I mean, obviously you wouldn't want to do it, but if you did want to do it, you just don't have the time.
Oh, Mark's Random Curiosity says you can get them back via the studio app settings if you make a mistake. Oh, well, that's good. So if there's anybody on here and I ever do accidentally remove you, and, you know, obviously you're a decent person and I've made a mistake, just comment. Now, I don't know how you do it, but any of Matilda's social media. So, yeah, there. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And,
thank you again for the
see you
super thanks. And yes, we'll all see you later and have a wonderful evening. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye.